We bring you the lunch edition of MBC News with me, Sifatim Susa. Our top stories. President Mutharika describes the new Minister of Industrialization, Business, Trade and Tourism as an experienced professional who fits in his vision of transforming the country's economy. The Malawi Electoral Commission expresses concern with low public turnout in the ongoing voter registration exercise ahead of the March by-elections. And the body of the country's fallen football legend, Esau Kanyenda, to be laid to rest in the United Kingdom this afternoon. We're glad you could join us. His Excellency the President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, has described the new Minister of Industrialization, Business, Trade and Tourism, Simon Itai, as a professional whose qualifications and extensive experience as an entrepreneur and manager fits in his vision of transforming the country's economy into a producing and exporting one. He said this at Kamuzu Palace in Lilongwe during the swearing-in ceremony of the new minister. Mwaintumodzi reports.
President of the Republic of Malawi, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, says he has entrusted Simon Itai with the industrialization, business, trade and tourism portfolio in his cabinet because of his strong credentials and vast experience, which has immense potential to contribute towards economic transformation of the country. He told the new minister to work hard since he joins the cabinet at a critical moment when the nation is steadily recovering from a difficult period of economic instability.
As you know, that my goal is to turn this country from importing to exporting, from consuming to production. The point I'm trying to say is that for us to participate in the global economic framework, we have got to produce, we have got to manufacture things and export them. There is no other way out. Whether we're talking about forex or economic stability or exchange rate or reduce interest rate, whatever, we cannot achieve that unless we produce and manufacture. And that's why I created this Ministry of Industrialization and business and trade and tourism. I looked all over the country, all the people, and the name that came forward was one of Simon Itai.
Speaking after the ceremony, the new minister, Simon Itai, said he was ready and committed to take up his new assignment.
We are talking of industrialization, business, trade, and tourism. Now, when you look at those issues and you relate them to the economy, they are very important because I think, as all of us are aware, no country has developed without industrialization. So the ministry is very important, and with the experience that I've had in industry, I should be able to assist. And I also do believe that where I'm going as a minister, we have technocrats who knows what they are supposed to do.
The new minister replaces George Patrick, who has since been appointed governor of the Reserve Bank of Malawi. Mwaintumodzi, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Meanwhile, President Mutharika is calling upon all Malawians from all walks of faith to join hands in praying that the country should continue receiving good rains for a bumper harvest, and further pray for an end to the prolonged dry spells which are being experienced in some parts of the country. Professor Mutharika quotes a holy scripture of 2 Chronicles 7 verse 14, which reads, "If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land." Likewise, the Holy Quran in Surah Nur from verse 10 to 12, which declares, "Ask forgiveness of your Lord. Indeed, he is ever a perpetual forgiver. He will send rain from the sky upon you in continuing showers and provide you with wealth and children, and will provide you with gardens and rivers." The Malawi leader is asking faith leaders, therefore, to lead these special prayers on any day of their choice from Friday, 6th February 2026 to Sunday, 8th February 2026. And commenting on the call for prayers, former Deputy General Secretary of the CCP Blantyre Synod, Reverend Buxton Maulidi, has commended President Mutharika's call for prayer, describing it as a sign of a God-fearing leader. Reverend Maulidi has therefore urged all faith leaders to heed the call and pray for favorable rains to ensure a bumper harvest. Also commenting on the same is spokesperson for the Muslim Association of Malawi, MAM, Sheikh Dina Lachabulika.
It is a welcome idea by a leader. In fact, a leader is supposed to be with people. Indeed, we have seen dry spell being experienced in the southern region in most of the districts, and the crops that have been affected at a very critical stage. So in this way, the only thing you can do is to ask for God's intervention, to come in and ask God. And also we need also to ask for forgiveness so that God should give us more showers from the heavens.
What should be the role of citizens, apart from faith leaders, to lead in these prayers?
The role of the citizen is to join their faith leaders together, to pray together, to increase more righteous deeds, or maybe some other people will be fasting, to be near to the Almighty God so that the situation should improve. So we need to be together as one country. You know, a nation, it's like a body of a human being. When a hand is affected, the whole body is affected. So if the rains are not coming, or maybe there is a dry spell in the southern region, the whole Malawi should be affected, even if the northern region is receiving rains. So we should come together, join our faith leaders, pray to God to end the dry spell which is being experienced in the southern region.
The governments of Malawi and Luxembourg have signed a 30 billion kwacha memorandum of understanding on general cooperation, which among others will see Luxembourg partner Malawi government in various sectors, including education and skills development, private sector development and human capital development. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, George Chaponda, disclosed this in Lilongwe after holding discussions with the visiting Luxembourg Deputy Prime Minister Xavier Bettel at Capitol Hill in Lilongwe, from where Charles Wahara reports.
Addressing the media in Lilongwe, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, George Chaponda, said the MOU has come at the right time as Malawi continues to face various challenges ranging from natural disasters to socio-economic hardships. Chaponda added that the MOU is a true reflection of the confidence Luxembourg has in the new administration as it focuses on improving the welfare of Malawians.
The visit by His Excellency, Mr. Xavier Bettel, the Deputy Prime Minister of Luxembourg, is a blessing to us in Malawi in a number of ways, because he's coming at a time when Malawi is experiencing a number of challenges and also climate resilience problems. And therefore, our signing of this agreement gives us a time to formalize our relationship in a way that will be helpful to us. To be more specific, the cooperation is expected under the General Cooperation Agreement 1 that there will be provides a flexible framework in which we have to obtain assistance in the field of health and human capital development, and also in the field of education and skills development, education and skills training, as well as water and sanitation, climate change and environmental sustainability, as well as governance and institutional strengthening.
Taking his turn, the Luxembourg Deputy Prime Minister Xavier Bettel observed that Malawi has taken a number of initiatives and programs towards its economic recovery path, and that these programs need a helping hand.
What I'm doing here, and this is not a public expense, it's a public investment from my taxpayers, to see how we can have a country which belongs to the country where there are problems, economical problems, food problems, where there could be less problems. We won't find a solution tomorrow. They have been newly elected. If people think that tomorrow everything will be solved, This is impossible. But together we will move on. And we are looking, and this is why these trusted partnerships are so important, to invest in people, to invest in the future of young generations. And I congratulate them also for free education. You cannot imagine how difficult it is to explain to someone that because he's poor, he's not allowed to go to school.
The Luxembourg Deputy Prime Minister is on Wednesday expected to visit Zalega refugee camp in Doha as part of the interventions under the MOU. Charles Wahara, NBC News, Lilongwe.
Government is optimistic that the latest Malawi Demographic Health Survey 2024 report will strengthen evidence-based planning and budgeting as Malawi records mixed progress across key development indicators. Minister of Finance and Decentralization Joseph Mwanamveka made the remarks in Lilongwe during the launch of survey's main report released by the National Statistical Office, NSO. McDonald Chiwayula reports.
The Minister of Finance, Economic Affairs and Decentralization, Joseph Mwanamveka, says the report provides government with credible data to guide policy formulation and improve the allocation of public resources. He says the findings show that while some indicators are improving, others require urgent attention.
The report that has been delivered by NSO is quite informing and very educative because it will help us as government and also as the Minister of Finance to make sure that our policies and even our planning should be evidence-based. It will be based on evidence, based on data. This report is quite good. I'm happy with it because it helps us to do more targeted planning and more focused in terms of resource allocation.
In the health sector, Deputy Minister of Health, Charles Chilambula, says the report will play a critical role in improving service delivery by supporting informed decision-making and effective resource mobilization.
When we are looking for resources, mobilizing resources, we'll be able to speak with evidence and be able to get support. So this report is very important because it will help us achieve a lot. You talk of human resource, we can lobby for human resource because it has shown such gaps and other gaps which the report has shown. It will help us to make informed decisions and be able to look for help wherever necessary.
In his remarks, Commissioner of Statistics, Shoton Kenyanda, says the latest survey points to improvements in fertility, maternal health and malaria prevalence, but also highlights persistent challenges such as child stunting and disparities between rich and poor households.
First of all, maybe I can point out that the total fertility rate, that is number of children that a woman is expected to have, has declined from 4.4 in the last DHS, which was conducted 2015-2016, down to 3.7, 2024. But we're also seeing a number of other indicators. For instance, maternal mortality rate has declined from around 439 to 224, which is a positive sign. We're also seeing some indications that we are not doing very good. For instance, the number of kids that are stunted, we have slightly grown from the current, from the 2018, which was about 38%, down to 37. So we are seeing some indication that we are doing good, but there are also some areas that we haven't done very good.
Meanwhile, development policy experts say progress remains uneven and have called for increased focus on primary health care.
For the most part, it relates really to the need to bring health services closer to the people, to understand the people who are left behind and focus on them, because that's what we call the last mile. That's what we need to focus on.
The National Statistical Office says the report is expected to guide national priorities and support targeted investments aimed at improving well-being and human capital development of Malawians. McDonald Chiwayula, NBC News, Lilongwe.
And this is NBC News, a reminder of our top stories. President Mutharika describes the new Minister of Industrialization, Business, Trade and Tourism as an experienced professional who fits in his vision of transforming the country's economy. The Malawi Electoral Commission expresses concern with low public turnout in the ongoing voter registration exercise ahead of the March by-elections. And the body of the country's fallen football legend, Esau Kanyenda, to be laid to rest in the United Kingdom this afternoon. The Minister of Gender, Children, Disability and Social Welfare, Mary Navicha, has urged traditional leaders in Chikwawa to be in the forefront in implementing community-based childcare centers, CBCCs, in their communities. This follows the ministry's launch of the Emergency Vita Meal program to support over 47,000 children across 401 CBCCs in the Lower Shire. Hamida Kazembe has compiled this report, read by Rashida Matandika.
Speaking during the launch of the program, Navicha emphasized the need for traditional leaders to play an active role in supporting such initiatives for the betterment of their communities. She asked them to be generous enough in providing land for construction of such centers.
Indeed, I've appealed to the community, particularly community traditional leaders, firstly, to provide enough land to CBCCs so that parents and guardians should be able to have something on their own without relying from donors and well-wishers. You know, when it comes to cyclones and other challenges, children are the most vulnerable groups. And at a time like this, children are the most vulnerable. That's why we're encouraging traditional leaders to help the parents.
Country Director for Feed the Children, an organization that is supporting children in the Lower Shire, McHenry Lero, commended government for working hand in hand with his organization in improving lives of children in the area.
No, we are actually very happy as Feed the Children because, the minister, that's actually the highest level of government. So when you have got the government coming to appreciate the positive impact our initiatives are doing, as Feed the Children, we are also very grateful for that. So for example, now you've seen in terms of the testimonies that we have heard from the communities in terms of the improved nutrition status of the children here, but also the overall improvement in their attendance, because now this CBCC alone, they've got over 311 children that are actually attending this CBCC, meaning that the numbers increased primarily because of the meals that are being provided at the CBCC.
One of the parents, Esther Mpinganjira from Traditional Authority Katunga, expressed gratitude following the establishment of such centers. The minister also toured Mpokonyola CBCC in the area of Traditional Authority Katunga, where she appreciated efforts by traditional leaders in making the center functional.
Now, the Malawi Electoral Commission has expressed concern over the public's low turnout for the ongoing voter registration exercise. MEC Commissioner Reverend Philip Kambulile made the sentiments when he visited registration centers in Blantyre West, as the Commission targets to reach out to the 10% target based on the September general election. Kambulile says despite the low turnout, all is set for the March by-elections across the country.
I think we needed to enhance the awareness campaign. It's like many people do not know exactly what is happening. But at the same time, since it's a by-election, it seems like people, the zeal is not there, some of them. So we need to, to enhance our civic education as we move around with our rowdy hairs and whatever we need to use, so that people should be aware of what is happening in their constituency. We are more than prepared. It's an exercise that we have been waiting for. We need to do it because in these constituencies or wards that we are holding by elections, people have been waiting for their representatives in the parliament or at the council. So we are more than prepared to hold the elections. Everything is intact.
Minister of Homeland Security Peter Mukito has commended the strong response to Phase 1 of the National Birth Registration Campaign, describing the exercise as a major step towards securing the identity and rights of Malawian children. Mukito made the remarks after inspecting operations in Dedza, where the National Registration Bureau NRB is registering children below the age of 16 as part of a nationwide birth registration drive. Miriam Kaliza has a report.
Flanked by his deputy, Norman Chisale, on the tour, the Minister of Homeland Security, Peter Mukito, said preliminary figures show the campaign is nearing its target, despite minor challenges faced, an outcome he attributes to the overwhelming turnout and public understanding of the exercise. Mukito has since urged parents and guardians across the country to fully participate in the remaining 6 phases, emphasizing that early registration provides children with legal identity and help address long-standing challenges in national planning and elections. Mukito further noted that registering children at a young age will help prevent future identification challenges, including those experienced during past elections, while also strengthening ownership and citizenship among Malawians.
No registration of our children is quite very, very important because it offers identity to our children and ownership as a true Malawians. So this is very important. And remember, we've been struggling, we've been facing a lot of problems during elections. But once we have each and everyone registered at the young age, definitely won't have problems in 2030. So we say, please come out in your large numbers and make sure that we register all those children who are under 16, make sure that they are fully registered. And let me also remind Malawians and thank more profoundly His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, because this is his brainchild. And what we are seeing is the reality of his dream.
Meanwhile, on behalf of the donors involved in the funding of the exercise, the European Union Ambassador to Malawi, Daniel Aristi, has also commended the progress of the campaign, describing birth registration as a critical foundation for protecting children's rights and improving access to essential services. The EU says legal identity is key to promoting good governance, social inclusion, and child protection, adding that birth registration plays an important role in addressing challenges such as child marriage, gender inequality, and access to justice. The ambassador further praised the coordination between the Ministries of Homeland Security and Education, noting that school-based registration centers have enhanced access for families and communities.
One thing is to read about an action or a project in your office. Something else is to be out here in Dedza, seeing people, workers, moms bringing their children. There is an incredible energy. There is an awful lot of really, really good work that is happening right now. And as we heard today, we are already at 57% completion rate. And this is just days after we started the campaign. So I think we can be all very, very proud. What I also want to say is that the European Union and actually the EU member states that are present here in the country, the EU family, we've been supporting national registration since 2016. So we are celebrating 10 years of a really, really positive partnership with the government when it comes to national registration. And I think that's cause for celebration. Our funding is at 14 million euro mark right now on this action. Now you talk about continuation. Let's remember that the concrete action, the concrete project that we are financing right now runs until 2028. So we still have plenty of time to keep on doing a very good job.
Phase 1 of the National Birth Registration Campaign started on the 26th of January and is expected to conclude on the 4th February in Chitipa, Ligoma, Dedza, Blantyre Rural and Mashinga districts. The campaign was scheduled to run for 10 days. Miriam Kaliza, MBC News, Dedza.
Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Ben Piri has moved in to facilitate speedy relocation of Waka Waka Market to the designated bypass market. The minister said this when he toured 2 markets in Lirongwe. Austin Fukula reports.
Late last year, government ordered Waka Waka Market vendors to move to a new market at the bypass, but vendors have not complied to the order to date. The minister told the media after touring bypass and Waka Waka markets that the bypass market is almost ready for occupation, hence the need for vendors to comply with the law.
After this visit, we are sitting down now to draw a roadmap. So it is after that roadmap that I'll be able to say by such a time. But there was already a notice that was given to the vendors and traders in this market. So we will be driving towards the same to make sure that at least we provide them with the proper market that will serve both the law as well as the council for proper service delivery.
In reaction, Chairperson for Waka Waka Market, Muloleni Mangolomera, said the idea of relocation is characterized by ill intentions by a certain group of people. Therefore, Mangolomera stated that the vendors are not ready to move to the designated market because they will struggle to get space if they relocate to the new site. Meanwhile, Lilongwe District Commissioner Stali Chimwambiwa says the designated market, which lies at 1.6 hectares of land, is sufficient to accommodate all vendors from Waka Waka Market. Austin Fukula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
A non-governmental organization known as CSO Leaders has commended government for ensuring availability of basic needs and services to Malawians, saying it is a step towards revival of the country's economy. Speaking to MBC, a member of the organization, Steve Chimwaza, therefore urged people to have faith on the country's leadership.
Seen that most Malawians are now happier than before. That is why we wanted to tell Malawians that let's have hope, let's wait, and let's do what is needful to Malawians. And we ask the government through the president to keep on doing the way they are doing.
And on a sad note, the body of former Flames striker Esau Kanyenda will be laid to rest this afternoon in the United Kingdom. Kanyenda died on the 2nd of December last year after battling cancer. Meanwhile, Football Legends Association of Malawi will stage a big screen at Bingu National Stadium to beam live the burial of the late Kanyenda. Well, that's it from our news from this afternoon. A recap of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika describes the new Minister of Industrialization, Business, Trade and Tourism as an experienced professional who fits in his vision of transforming the country's economy. The Malawi Electoral Commission expresses concern with low public turnout in the ongoing voter registration exercise ahead of the March by-elections. And the body of the country's fallen football legend Esau Kanyenda to be laid to rest in the United Kingdom this afternoon. Keep up to date with our news coverage on our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Sifatim Susa. Thanks for watching and bye for now.
What's your name? Gary, huh? It's my game.
We put everything into this. Those that can do it and succeed, how to fix it.
This city has been just a cookbook. It's part of
being hit here
with the latest global news and insightful documentary.
Transition.
Understanding.
But if you ask them know me. I know they blow trees, only know me.